Oh, That's Random podcast. The show with a spin on everyday real life. Random topics that will have you like, what? With that guy, your guy, the one and only Nerdy G.
What episode this is, but this is episode 100 of Oh That's Random podcast. Episode 100 of Oh That's Random podcast. I am your host, that guy, Nerdy G. 2 E's, please don't forget the E's. You know what it is. Happy, man. It's been a long journey. All of you, like I said, who's been rocking with me, who's been listening, who's been consistently listening and tuning in. First and last time listeners, I appreciate y'all. I'm keeping it going. Y'all know how it is. Just like that. Real quick, real easy. And y'all know what's up. Hey, today I'm going to get right into it. I ain't holding back. Gloves is off. Punch people in the face. If you get offended, oh well, it's okay. It's life. Life goes on. And it's going to continue to go on, move on, with or without you. The machine does not stop. You get me? Today I'm going to make this simple. And I just been thinking about this. I've been thinking about society and how in today's society, how we keep trying to push so hard to be inclusive, right? How we try to push ourselves to be together, to be with one another. But in reality, that ain't truth. That ain't truth. Listen, I want to believe that. I want to believe that everything that we're doing is pushing us in a place, pushing us to a place where we all can be just one, have one big kumbaya moment where we're all laughing and just chilling, being able to have a beer or two and just kicking back at a kickback, listening to some good music, enjoying life. But we know that's not what it is. Just that simple. I just want you guys to know what I'm talking about. You gonna feel it. If you don't feel it, add somebody to this. Tell them to come listen. And you know, if you don't pick up something from this episode, you know, you'll get there. We all gonna get there. If you guys hear some clicks or some beeps in this, listen, I told you I'm doing this big, right? The setup is ridiculous. The setup has been ridiculous, but you know, we got some extra things going on. So if you hear those beeps, don't worry about it. Ain't nobody. It ain't your smoke alarm. It ain't your microwave. It ain't, you know, low battery somewhere. It's just nerdy. But you shouldn't hear any of that. But if you do, I do my best to edit it out. Okay. Anywho. Back to this society and how society is seeing us, right? And how everything is merging together. It's merging together, but it's also pushing us apart at the exact same time. I don't know how many of you guys out there are familiar with the book called Men Are Waffles and Women Are Spaghetti. Okay, this is a book. It's a relationship book to help you to understand how relationships and basically it can be used for relationships as well but it's to help you understand how men and women communicate. All right, and let's just be honest, okay? The way men communicate is we put everything in a category. So you know, when you think of a waffle, when you do think of a waffle, right, men, it's a bunch of little squares on a waffle. And that's what men do. We put everything in a box. All right, we got football, boom, that's a box. Basketball, that's a box. Kids, that's a box. Sex, that's a box. Wife, that's a box. Side piece, that's a box. Okay, that's how we think. When we talking to people, or when other men are talking to each other, that's how. Hey, if we talking about football, we stay on football. We don't bring Michael Jordan into a football conversation. We don't take Tom Brady and put him in a basketball conversation, or Wayne Gretzky into a baseball conversation. We don't do that. If it's football, we talking football. We talking Madden. Anything football is in line. Simple. Okay. On the other hand, When it comes to women are spaghetti. When you look at a bowl of spaghetti, the noodles are all weaved in and out, woven in and out, right? So a woman can be talking about, let's say she might be talking about her mother to start off, and then for some way, somehow, we didn't got to the kids, and by the end of that, we didn't switch to the mother, the kids, the job, to the homegirls, back to the mother, and men are sitting there and we just looking because we trying to process, because we don't understand what's really going on. We trying to process, because we waffles. We put everything in a box. We got your mom in a box. We got the kids in a box. We got your homegirls and your work talk in total different boxes. Those boxes don't cross. So when you're looking at your man and you think he's not listening, it's not that he's not listening. It's the fact that he's over there in his brain trying to process and going from one box to the next box to the next box. And that's it. That's simple. That's how that works. So now that we have an understanding of men think like waffles, women are spaghetti. Simple, easy, peasy. That's how we doing it. Now, this world that we're in today, those two things are merging. The way that women see things, the way that men see things, it's merging. So don't matter who you are, we're all merging. We're merging in thought process. But when we merge in this thought process, we're pushing ourselves further apart. The narrative right now is inclusion, inclusion, inclusion. We want to include everybody in everything, and that's not the way we were raised. You understand? That's not the way that we were raised. Let's break down a couple things, right? And we're going to walk with me, talk with me, listen with me, have this conversation with your peoples and see where it takes you. Hear me out on this. We always have to set ourselves apart from others. We've been taught this from a young age. We have to be the best, okay? No matter what you do, you have to be the best. You have to, if you want that starting football position or that starting quarterback position, you have to be the best. Okay, well, what if the other guy got a great skill set? Well, what can he do that you can't do? What is it that you can do that he can't do? What's going to make you stand out? Yes, he may be taller. Maybe he can throw a 30-yard zip line, but can he run? Can he be mobile? Can he get outside the pocket? Can he still create plays? What can you do to be different from what we've known a quarterback to be? What's going to make me look at you? So we're always trying to recreate ourselves and be different from the next person, because even though the next person may possess the same skill set as I possess, we're the same. So I need to be something different. I need not to be the exact same as him. I need to be able to be a unicorn. Okay? I need to be able to be a unicorn. And let me tell y'all something. Not everybody's a unicorn at all. Not everybody is a unicorn. You can't be a unicorn. Everybody can't be a unicorn. And stop trying to repackage yourself as something that you're not. It's cool for you just to be you and who you are. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You trying to repackage yourself as this different type of unicorn. Listen, unicorns ain't even real. That's the first thing, right? Unicorns not even real. I don't care if you duct tape a horn on a horse. You're still not a unicorn. So trying to repackage yourself as something that you're not, it's not going to come off as authentic. It's not going to come off as genuine. And you're just not going to be who you need to be. And it's not going to come off the right way. And you're going to run into some issues. We don't have to be that. You understand? But this is what we was taught growing up. So there's a lot of us out there. We have to be something different. We have to be something different, because being ourselves is not enough. Me being nerdy, for me, it's enough for me. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you that right now. Me being nerdy is enough for me. I don't know about you, but I hope you are looking at yourself in the mirror and saying that you are enough for yourself. I don't have to go out and be something that I'm not. I'm okay with being me. I understand that growing up, labels was a thing. But I want you to realize this. The more labels you slap on yourself, the further you are away from who you really are. Because there's so many labels on you that when the last time you looked in the mirror with no labels and said, this is me, this is nerdy, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and this is what I do. Simple. I know it's kind of hard. I know it's hard. You say labels. Listen, when you wake up in the morning, I don't know about y'all, I sleep naked. So when I wake up in the morning, I gotta go put on some labels. I start with my Duluth underwear, okay? Boxer briefs, okay? Start with those. Then whatever shorts I put on, that's a label. Whatever shirt I put on, or undershirt, that's a label. Whatever shirt I put on, that's a label. Whatever socks I put on, that's a label. Whatever shoes I put on, that's a label. The type of toothbrush I use to brush my teeth, that's a label. The type of toothpaste I use, that's a label. You dig it? There's labels all around us. We are so fascinated, or we have been conditioned to say that we need labels to justify who we are. I don't understand. Well, let me rephrase it. I do understand why we need labels to justify who we are, but it doesn't make true sense to me. Because when I look at labels, it's just something to. It's like bells and whistles. That's what labels are. Labels are bells and whistles. And why do we need those? Why do we need bells and whistles? Why can't I just come as raw as Adam and Eve did into the world until you know what happened, and then we had to put on some bushes. Some bushes didn't have a label, but they was called a bush. So the first, underwear was some bushes, bushels, or whatever you want to call it, or a leaf, however you see fit. But the labels. We gotta identify ourselves as something. We have to slap a label on ourselves, right? I go to the community. You get me? And I know this is probably tough for some people to hear. And I know people are gonna probably say I'm insensitive or whatever the case may be, but it is what it is, okay? Listen, when we talk about the community wanted equal rights. They have equal rights. The community have a label on themselves. Cool, got it. They're pushing it a little bit forward with the pronouns. Okay, cool. Here's my deal. Those labels does not identify the community. You get me? The labels that they put on themselves does not identify them as a person. Because that's not who they are as a person. They are so much more than that. I have so many friends that are in the community, and when I look at them, I never think that, oh damn, they're in the community. I don't. I understand that some people have to have labels because they're hiding from their true selves. We don't need the labels. You are who you are. When I see you in the streets, you're Larry. Okay? You're Larry from up the street. Larry, you're a cool guy. You're a little weird at times, but you're a cool guy. If I need to know what's going on with my Apple products, Larry got all the knowledge. But whatever label Larry likes to put on himself, that's not important to me. Because when I see Larry, Larry is Larry. That's it. The labels are what they are. They're going to be what they are. We can't get away from labels, but I want you guys to understand that all of these labels are separating us. Hands down. Don't believe me? Listen. Twitter. Let's take Twitter for example, right? I hear these type of terms all the time when it comes to Twitter. There's Black Twitter There's Latin Twitter, dark Twitter, straight Twitter, gay Twitter, geek Twitter, jughead Twitter, jock Twitter, political Twitter, which, listen, out of all the ones that I named, that political Twitter is probably the rawest, okay, that I've seen. Now, listen, I don't know, these politicians, these people supposed to be government officials, they fingers, they Twitter fingers is real. So if you I stay away from political Twitter. Political Twitter is like warfare, like verbal warfare over there, and it's crazy. And yes, I'm using the word crazy. It's crazy because of the division that words have on an app like Twitter. That's honest. That's just God's honest truth. You can tear people apart with words. It happens. That political Twitter is woof, Jesus. Yeah, I'm taking his name because that political Twitter is rough. It's tough. Some of the things, these are government officials. These are supposed to be scholars. These are supposed to be college graduates, and they are over here, saying things like, "I hope your kids don't grow. I hope your kids get like certain diseases," and they're saying things that aren't, what they call politically correct. But hell, clearly nothing's correct on political Twitter, and that's just the bottom line. And when you go over there, it gets raw. It's like you got to be mentally prepared to go and look at some of the comments when it comes to political Twitter, which we won't talk about politics face to face, but we'll jump on an app and we'll unload. But that's another label, and that's just kind of how that works, right? Labels come from every direction. When you go to work, you have a label. And let's hold it right here, right? When you go to work, you have a title. That title is a label. Whether you believe it or not, that title is a label. Okay? I can break this down in a few ways, right? But let's do this one. When you go to work, you get a title. Or let's stay away from the titles. So in some companies, they give you, they promote their culture, right? So you get fascinated with the culture, but also they separate you. They put you in certain groups. They put you in boxes. Oh, hey, you think this way. Hey, you think that way. Hey, you are this. You are a supporter. You're a thinker. You're an analyzer. You're a leader. You this. You that. You that. Those are labels, right? But because you're not paying attention, because you're bought into the culture, because the culture sounds amazing. When they say, hey, some things can be too good to be true. This may be one of those things, right? But not really. Like, we don't see it because it's like, yo, the culture is positive. This is what I want. This is what's being sold to me. I can get behind this. This is something that I'm happy with, and I'm good with it. But you got a label on you, right? That's it. It's a label. Your title is a label. It's no different from when people say, how I say this. I was having a conversation with a guy who used to do a lot of interviews, and me myself, I've done a ton of interviews as well. And so in these interviews, listen, we already have your resume, so we already have some kind of information on you as is. We already got some type of information on you, and you're asking yourself, okay, well, cool. Here's one question that knocks everybody off their rocker. All right, so tell me about yourself, Mr. Larry. Tell me about yourself. Okay, well, I'm a father. I do the Boy Scouts. I'm a big brother in the community. I'm a youth pastor. I'm a football coach. A bunch of labels is what you're giving yourself, right? That's not telling me who you are. What you're doing is you're labeling yourself of the things that you do, but that's not who you are. If I'm losing you, keep listening. It gets better. labels. I'm asking you to tell me who you are. What's your values? Who are you at the core? What gets you going? I understand that that's a hard question for people to answer. That's because people don't look inward at themselves. And because they're not looking inward at themselves because they might just be scared of who they are, I can understand that. It's I can understand why people feel that way. It's scared to look at yourself and say, hey, I might be mediocre. I might not be the best person for this. I got some improvement to do. Listen, there's nothing wrong with improving yourself. There's nothing wrong, and I say this so slowly, and I say this again, time and time again. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. Take your time. Self-improvement will help you to be a better person. Nothing is wrong with it. But don't get mad at any interviewer who asks you about who you are. If you can't answer that, if you cannot answer that question, please take time with yourself. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to know exactly who you are, what you stand for, what your core values are, what you value in life, and what gets you up and motivates you and gets you out of bed every day. And don't come to me with that bullshit ass answer, well, I do it for my kids. And before they was here, what you was doing it for. Understand that those things can change. I do understand that, but don't come to me with some, toss-up answer. Dig down, dig deep. That answer should be selfish. That answer should be selfish. And if you are a person who is all about your family and all about your kids, it'll show. But if you're making different type of moves where that's not really who you are, then stop lying to yourself. I'll tell anybody this and everybody this. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself, because once you start believing your own bullshit, then you got another issue on your hand that only you can solve. So that's that. But labels are there, right? Labels are there. People are upset because they don't want to be. They don't want to know who they are. They don't want anybody to tell them about them. And then the sad part is that they don't even want to tell themselves about their own self. Which, hell, if anybody needs to tell me about me, it should be me. But if you look at it as we're putting ourselves in, even in that, we're putting ourselves in a box. Even with the labels, we're putting ourselves in a box, right? So I want you to understand it. So, okay, hey, all the nerds are over here, all the jocks are over here, all the trolleys are over here, all the band geeks are over here, all the techie people are over here. So once you identify yourself, or once you label yourself, you're putting yourself in a box, right? Why do we have to do that? Because if I'm a comic book nerd and I'm a tech geek, but I like football and basketball, soccer, then what am I? What box do I fit in? Do I bounce through these boxes? Do I bounce back and forth through all of these boxes? Or am I just in one box? You see, I'm talking about my likes. I'm talking about the things that I enjoy. But because I have to because society told me, we gotta have this label on you because you do this the most, so I'm gonna call you a black nerd, right? What's the difference between a black nerd and a white nerd? Can anybody tell me that? What's the difference between a black nerd and a white nerd? What's the difference between a football nerd, a black nerd, a white nerd, a tech nerd, a comic book nerd, a race car nerd, a baseball nerd, a real estate nerd? Tell me the difference between them. All it is that these are people's likes. And what it is, they are well knowledged in these areas. And that's what makes them nerds, because when they hear information about this, they get excited and they can regurgitate a ton of information. Just because you are a real estate nerd, a comic book nerd or a sports nerd, that's not who you are at your core. It's a label that they have to put on, that society has to put on us all. Doesn't matter what we are. They're putting it on us all because we have to put you in a box because we need to know what box you fit in. We have to check off this box. Okay? We have to check off this box. I'm not a fan of being in a box. Like I say, the way men think is boxes. It's waffles. It's waffles. Women are adapting this mindset as well, and some men are, or like I say, everything's merging because men and women are adopting not only the box method, but they're also adopting the spaghetti method as well. Simple. Okay? I know it's a lot, but I'm giving this to you, right? I gotta give this to you because I need you to understand that it's okay for you to be who you are. I'm gonna say this on a lot of my shows because I believe that that's how we should be. We should just be who we are. We don't have to put a label on it. I'm nerdy. Once again, I'm nerdy. G. 2 E's. Please don't forget the E's. Let me say it again. Please don't forget the E's. Listen, if you don't think that everything has a label on it, if you don't think that they're putting everything in the boxes, let me give you a few examples here. Okay? Maybe just a few. Can I give you guys a few examples? Can I give you guys just a few examples? Alright. In everyday life, these are some examples where you have to be put in a box. Alright? Let's take the drive-thru. The drive-thru used to be one line, everybody goes in, they order their food, they get their food, they get out. At Chick-fil-A, I call it Chick-fil-A, y'all might call it Chick-fil-A, whatever the case may be, I call it Chick-fil-A, okay? Chick-fil-A got 3 lines, okay? Not only do they got 3 lines, they got an app line, they got a curbside line, and then they got a line for DoorDash, Uber, and whatever the other one is. Okay? Think about it. We're all separate. First of all, the 3 lines is, I get it. The 3 lines is to Jesus, what's the word? What am I looking for? I'll cut it, don't worry about it. To handle all the flow that's coming in. I don't truly know the difference between the app space and the curbside space. They're right next to each other. I order from the app. It's curbside. You're gonna bring it out to me, and technically, if I'm in a 3rd line, I'm gonna order my food at the drive-thru, and you're gonna walk my food to me just like you would the person on curbside. So, but there's a curbside, there's a regular drive-thru, there's the app, and then there's the DoorDashers and Uber drivers and all that good old stuff. Right? That's just one example. Okay? If you're not feeling that example, I got another one. Grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, different lines, right? We're separating. Everything is separated, right? You got your self-checkout line. You got your 10 items or less line. You have your 15 items or less line. And then you got your just regular ass, long ass line that's just going to be long for no apparent reason, right? And even at one point in time, and in some stores, your self-checkout line is broken down 10 items, 15 items, self-checkout. Because, when you go to those big stores, I don't understand why people who have a basket full of stuff go to the self-checkout line because, all you big baskets, like, it's not enough room on the little self-checkout things for you to keep all of that stuff on there. And I got to sit behind you and hear, please place item back on the scale. Please place item back. I ain't got time for all that. I got places to be. I got things to do. You understand what I'm saying? I got places to go, people to see, things to do. And instead of sitting here waiting on you with your whole, 150 item basket. Okay, I got 2 items. I'm trying to get my Snickers and my little drink, my little whatever, and get out the damn store. But I gotta wait behind you because you decided you want to go through. You scan, but whatever. Keep it pushing. Okay, let me give you another one. Let me give you another way that we're still separated and everybody wants to be a unicorn. And I don't understand, like I say, not everybody's a unicorn. Not everybody can be a unicorn. They don't exist. Let's take music genres, right? I used to know a couple: country, R&B, rap, pop, right? Normal genres. Now I was strolling through. I don't know what the hell neo trap is. I don't know what drill R&B is. I don't know what punk rap is. And I promise you, I thought country pop jazz. I thought that was a band. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Somebody's like making a play off of Snap Pop and Crack, or yeah, no, that's a whole music genre, and I don't get it. Like, it's one or the other. Whichever one has the most elements, that's what it is, right? So if you're 80% rap, you're a rap song. If you're 90% R&B, it's an R&B song. Just because you gave it 3, 4, 5 elements of country, that doesn't make it country. That doesn't make it R&B country. That just makes it R&B with a twist. Separating boxes. I gotta be a unicorn. The thoughts. It's the thought process, right? It's the thought process. They're merging. They're merging. The country pop jazz is literally the waffle and the spaghetti colliding, right? If they was two cars and they ran it together, this is what we got. Country pop jazz. I don't even know how that works. Somebody explain it to me out there. Send me a tweet. Jump on Facebook or something. Let me know what that is. It's all separate. Everything in life, you can stop and you can look and you can see that we have to separate everything. We have to put everything in boxes, even when it comes to gas. Gas is another example. I didn't write it down, but hell, premium, yeah, middle, yeah, and then just regular ass unleaded. Now, that middle one, I don't even understand why it's there. You're not gonna get the best gas, but I'll give you a little bit better than trash gas and just a little bit less than great gas. Yeah, you do the info on that. You do that. I don't know what to tell you on that. I just don't. I don't even know. But if you look at it, that's a box. Some people only get premium. Some people only get mid-grade. Some people only get unleaded. It's all unleaded. It's just premium unleaded, mid unleaded, and just regular ass unleaded. This is all fine and dandy because we want to bring each other together. We want to bring each other together, but the more we try to bring each other together, the more we put ourselves in separate boxes, the more we are pushing us away from each other. Our likes is not who we are as people. Our likes are not what we stand for. Who we are at the core comes from our values, how we see things, how we treat people. That's it. All of the labels that we have on, listen, we put on enough labels as it is just to get dressed and walk out of our front door in the morning. Or lay around in the house. However you see fit. I don't judge. This is not a judgy podcast. In some instances. But for the most part, when it comes to topics like this, we gotta have labels on everything. I don't know why we have to have labels out. And when I say labels, I mean I'm not necessarily talking about the clothes. I'm not necessarily talking about, we have to call this a fork because it's a fork. But I'm talking about the labels that we put on ourselves as people. And we have to say, well, this is who I am. Okay. No, you are not. I'm going to say this the best way I know how to say it. Just because I like pussy don't mean I'm a pussy. And just because I like pussy don't mean I need to run around and tell everybody that I love pussy. Simple. You get where I'm going. Simple. I don't have to tell everybody that I love pussy. Y'all know who I am when y'all hear me talk. Y'all know what I'm about because I show it every day. I show it in these podcasts. I put it out there. I'm having fun. I value family. I love being a family man, right? But that's not my motivation to do what I do. That's not it. This right here is therapeutic to me and my soul, and letting me talk and get everything out of my head out. There are things that I want to accomplish in life, and I plan on accomplishing those things. I said to myself, and I told myself, I'm not numbering none of these podcasts until I get to 100 episodes. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we gotta clap it up, because we gonna clap it up. I need my claps to be a little bit louder. We clapping it up because if you've been here with me, I'll keep them going. Because if you're here with me right now, we at 100. We are at 100 episodes today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I didn't finish this topic. This topic is ongoing. This whole labels, this whole waffle, inclusion, non-inclusion, this whole it's a car crash of a waffle is what I'm calling it. It's a car crash of a waffle and spaghetti. And that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting today in this world. And it's fine. I know I might sound like I'm on a soapbox or something like that, but I'm really not. This is just how things are. This is what comes about. This is what we're dealing with. If you're scared to acknowledge it, then be scared to acknowledge it. I'm fine with it. It's okay. It's not hard. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you're not at that point just yet. But trust me, it gets better in life. It gets better in life. And as we grow every single day, and as we look inward at ourselves to make sure that we are the best versions of ourselves, as people love to say, I'm trying to be the best me. I'm living my best life. Okay? Well, while you out here living your best life, make sure that you are actually truly looking inward at yourself and making sure that you are not lying to yourself. Not saying, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a unicorn. You're not a unicorn. It's okay just to be you. It's okay to say, I am who I am. You know what I mean? Just do it. Don't worry about what anybody else think about you, because it's all about, in a selfish way, it's all about you. In a non-selfish way, it's all about you and how you treat people and how you treat others. Because I believe if you treat others good, the majority of people that you encounter will treat you good. There's going to be a few assholes out there that's going to still try you, play you, and then, you just got to show them who you are. Let them know that you ain't for that fuck shit and keep it pushing. I know that probably was a little rough at the end, but I mean, that's me. That's nerdy. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to put it in a way. I am going to take others' feelings into consideration. I'm going to think about how I present myself before I put myself out there. And that's just how I roll. Like I say, I don't like to beat a dead horse, but this is a topic that I will revisit later on. A lot coming for the next many more episodes that are coming. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to be about it. I was about these 100. I got them. We here. It's up. It's up. It's up, ladies and gentlemen. This is That's Random Podcast. I plan on keep on doing it big. I plan on making sure that big things popping for the Nerdy's umbrella. It's the brand. Y'all know what it is. I got to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram, that guy, Nerdy G. Follow me on Twitter at nerdy_G, 2 E's. Please don't forget the E's. And then if you still on that, Facebook or whatnot, I'm there too, Nerdy G, 2 E's. Y'all know what it is. Follow me over there. I drop content here, there, and everywhere. Also, there's a Twitch out there. No, not Twitch. Yeah, there is a Twitch. There's a Twitch, that guy, Nerdy G. I do some gaming. And then also, too, TikTok, Nerdy's Umbrella everywhere under all of the socials. So just Nerdy's Umbrella. Follow That's Random Podcast. And until next time.